Oh, Eddie, double duty today. Come on over. Well, yeah, right here. We got to socially distance, but you're good. First, thank you for joining me for today's announcement. Let me just make a comment first in reference to the pending hurricane, tropical storm that is headed our direction and is really starting to hit South Arkansas. I did receive a word from the White House earlier this morning that they have granted my request for an emergency declaration, and so that has been issued by the President. Secondly, we do have our high water teams from the National Guard that have been deployed to South Arkansas, as well as our search and rescue teams are standing by as well. We expect this to hit probably in mid-afternoon is what we expect, but we want everybody to be careful, to listen to the weather, to take the precautions. We know that there'll be high winds that will be constant for some time, and that there's going to be flash flooding, and so let's be careful. Let's all be cautious about it and take the precautions that are needed. With that, let me come back to the purpose of this gathering this morning and the announcement that I wanted to make. And I want to express my thanks to Secretary Gillespie for leading this effort over the last few years. That has been difficult, challenging, but successful. And then we also have Director Melissa Stone that has led the effort from the inside that will have comments. And then I want to recognize Senator Missy Irvin, that is chairman of our Senate Public Health Committee, and thank her for her support of this and her presence here today. Just a little background first. We have 3,500 individuals in round numbers on the developmental disability waiting list. It has been a priority of mine to increase the services to those on the disability waiting list. It has been a priority, and as well as with the legislature. These are our most vulnerable Arkansans with disabilities that require special services and assistance. The waiver sets the number of individuals that can be served, and the goal of the services is to allow them to live in the community rather than in an institutional setting. With access to the waiver, they can receive services that range from adaptive equipment to supporting living services and assistance in employment. And that is the goal, to give them some level of independence in their life with the assistance that is needed. We currently serve 4,800 people with disabilities on the waiver program, and that number has increased through my term of office because it has been a priority and it gives people hope, and so obviously they are added to the list because they want those services as well. Regretfully, the average wait time is too long, and in 2016 we set about trying to reduce that waiting list by using tobacco settlement funds to add an additional 500 slots, in other words, to provide services to 500 individuals. And then in 2017, we took an additional step, and this was legislation, Act 775, sponsored by Representative Aaron Pilkington in the House. It was passed, and I signed it into law. It created the provider-led organizations, also called PASSes. Now, the benefit of this is that they provide coordinated services to those with disabilities, but also there is a premium tax on the services that they provide, and 1/2 of that is dedicated to increasing the slots for those on the waiver waiting list. And so this premium tax has accumulated to $15 million. It will continue to build, but with that $15 million, I am pleased to announce today that we will be adding additional 700 slots to reduce the developmentally disabled waiting list further. And this will mean that 700 additional individuals will be evaluated, and they will be provided home and community-based services that will enhance their life, to give them the services that they need. Of those that are still on the waiting list, and this will just show the challenge that we face, there's about 3,500, as I mentioned. 2,000 of those, exactly 2,008, have been independently assessed, and they're assigned to a provider care group, a PASS, and they are receiving Medicaid-funded services. They qualify for it, they're receiving services. It's just not the same level of services that they would get if they get the waiver and they are able to receive that highest level of services. The remaining 1,500 are not eligible for Medicaid services, and so they remain on the waiting list. Our goal, obviously, is to decrease it further, to make more progress, but for the first time, we actually have the hope that we can be successful there because we have a source of revenue that can be utilized to reduce that waiting list. With that, let me ask Director Stone to come and to talk about this. She's a little bit more in-depth and expert on this, but please, Melissa.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you, Senator Irvin, for being here and supporting us. So since 2015, when Governor Hutchinson came into office, he has made it a priority from the first time I ever met with him to support the community of those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So he supports our human development centers, which are our 24-hour care facilities across the state. He supported the PASS program. When we were talking to him about that idea, he came to my grand opening of the Blue Umbrella store and helped Secretary Gillespie and I pull the curtain down when we opened that employment opportunity that you need to shop at on the corner of 7th and Main. And he has supported us by continuously trying to think of ways to add waiver slots for those who have been waiting on the DD waiver. So today, for the first time ever, thanks to the PASS premium tax, we actually have a new funding stream that's been half designated to continue to add slots to this waiver so that we can continue to build hope in people and continue to reduce the amount of wait time for these individuals who need these more tailored services for their disabilities. Here today are the three executive directors of the PASSes. So I just wanted to thank John Ryan, who is with Arkansas Total Care, Jason Miller, who is with Summit Community, and Robert Slattery, who's with Empower Healthcare Solutions. They have been amazing partners in trying to think of ways where we can add waiver slots as well, and thinking of ways where we can offer additional services to people while they wait. And we are continuing to work with the PASSes on that endeavor, and hopefully we'll get to the point where we can implement that program as well. Although we have made significant improvements to this program with the PASS implementation, we continue to need more providers to serve our clients, particularly those who have been duly diagnosed that have intellectual disabilities and some behavioral health needs. So today, I'd also like to announce that we are developing a new provider type. We are trying to fill the gap that we are seeing in some of the care, and we are trying to ask our providers who we currently utilize to kind of open their book of business and think of this in a different way. When the governor asked for the tobacco tax to be redirected several years ago, we were awarded 500 slots for this community, and unfortunately it took us 3 years to actually implement full services for those 500 families. And that is because although we have a network of providers, we need more. So over the next several weeks, we'll be having stakeholder meetings to talk about this new provider type and how we believe that we'll be able to serve these 700 families quicker if we can get people enrolled and certified under this new provider type. I'm just extremely grateful to the governor and to the legislature and to Secretary Gillespie and the PASS CEOs who have worked with us over the last several years. This announcement today is so exciting for me and for my division, but I can't imagine how families are feeling knowing that their loved one will soon begin to receive much needed service. So thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. And you not only bring expertise, but you bring passion and heart to your work, and we're very, very grateful for that. And I should mention also that this announcement and this goal to create these new slots will have to go before the legislature. It will be a rule promulgation, and there's not a stronger partner that we can have than Senator Ervin, chairman of the Senate Health Committee, who also has a passion for this. Senator Ervin.
Thank you, Governor Hutchinson. It's been an incredible partnership to really work with the folks, the team at DHS. You have an incredible team of very passionate individuals who are highly skilled in understanding the dynamics of CMS and the federal government and how these waivers work. And so that partnership has really been an intense one with creating these solutions legislatively that the governor spoke about very eloquently. It's really been great legislation in 2017 and then again in 2019 from my colleagues in both the House and the Senate, Representative Pilkington, whom you mentioned, Representative Deborah Ferguson, Representative Ladyman, all the senators that serve on my Senate Public Health Committee has been a part of this process. And in 2019, we passed legislation, Representative Miller, I think, carried that, to eliminate this wait list. And so this is a joint, this is really a joint aspiration that we have with the governor, and we've worked very hard to achieve it. So it's an exciting announcement because really this is the fulfillment of the American dream. These individuals, despite their challenges that they have intellectually and physically, because of the developmental disabilities that they have encountered, it doesn't stop them. They are the most inspiring, generous, compassionate, amazing people, and all you have to do is go to the Blue Umbrella shop and look at what they create. And go to the Human Development Centers and interact with them and see the passion that they have to live their life as fully as they possibly can. And so this developmental disability waiver gives them that opportunity and those additional extra services to really fulfill that achievement of really a very fulfilling and full life. And we're excited as a government to be able to come together and be creative about the solutions and utilizing this premium tax. And Arkansas is the state that will be the most creative in finding the solutions to really meet our challenges and our problems. And that's because of the great partnership that we do have with the governor and the legislative branch and our agencies with DHS. So just want to again thank you, Governor Hutchinson. Thank you to Cindy Gillespie for your leadership. It's been amazing. I've served on public health since I've been elected, but been chair, and it's been great. Melissa, you and your team have been amazing, and so we continue our work daily with each other, and I'm very grateful for that, and I look forward to us eliminating this wait list for every individual in our state because they deserve it, and they deserve the opportunity to live that life more fully, and I'm ready to give it to them. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, and with that, we'll take any questions.
Once the legislature approves the funding, is there a projected timeline for selecting the clients and beginning services?
Melissa, I'm going to ask you to address that.
Yes, thanks for the question. So the timeline, we will have these slots available on December the 1st. And it will serve the first 600 people in order as they were approved and signed up.
Is there any other question? Good. With that, Melissa will be available, and the Senator, if there's any other questions. Thank you all very much today.